What's up, guys? This is Chris from Honest Outlaw here, and today we've got kind of an oddball firearm for you. A gun that I don't think I've seen any videos on that I know for a fact is probably going to be a fairly quality gun based on the company that makes it, but this is the IWI Jericho II. Maybe it's the Jericho Enhanced. On the box it says it is the Jericho 941 Enhanced polymer with the 3.8 inch barrel, okay? The one that I found online, however, is going to be the full-size 4.4 inch, and I couldn't find a lot of specs on this. So the specs might be a little bit off, but this is the 3.8 inch barrel here, which I cannot get a grip on the slide at all. The 3.8 inch barrel with a 17 round magazine. It does come with 2 magazines. It is a polymer frame pistol with a manual safety on it and a Picatinny rail with no optics mount, and it does have white 3-dot sights there. Now I got this from Mr. Guns for about $480, something like that, making it a pretty good deal in my personal opinion if it is a quality gun. So this gun in particular is a double single action, as I said, if you're unfamiliar with that. It has double action, so you just pull the trigger, and then when the slide cycles, you get a crisp single action pull, and the trigger on this guy for a budget gun is actually really, really nice. I like the look of it as well, and one of the first guns that I ever owned was the Baby Eagle, and it has a very similar silhouette to this, except it had a steel frame, and this is a polymer frame gun, making it a little bit lighter, a little more useful overall for a do-it-all gun. And a 3.8 inch barrel with a 17 round magazine is pretty close to full size. Kind of think a double action version of like the Glock 19X or the G45 or something like that. The M18 from SIG also qualifies in the same overall size and weight as this gun does, but this gun's going to be around the same weight as the Glock, maybe a little bit lighter than the SIG. It's got the low profile slide with the internal slide rails, which should help with recoil impulse, but does make it a little bit harder to get a hold of the slide and run the slide. So that's one thing to be said. We got some good texture on here, and then it does come with 3 back straps and 2 mags. So hopefully this will be a cool gun, but let's go find out. Now, before we do that, I want to thank my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys. Because of you guys, I can afford this gun. I used the Patreon dollars, went over to Mr. Guns and bought this gun, so I appreciate that. If you want to support me, all you got to do is go to the link in the description and sign up for Patreon. And we also have a link to a local shelter from Ames, Iowa. I would appreciate it if you would go down and click the link and donate to those kids. Oh, we are way low. 2 inches low.
Okay.
Okay. Back up a little bit. That's what's going on. We're just shooting way, way low.
Okay.
So I have to pop the rear sight up higher than I thought. Way, way low. All right. Well, that's fun. Well, luckily for us that we can't adjust these sights, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. We'll just shoot at the top of their heads.
Okay.
Points really well. One of the nice things about the shorter slide and longer grip is you get a little bit more recoil impulse, but it is faster. It's an overall quicker cyclic rate, so it kind of evens it out. You get a little more felt recoil, but maybe a little faster on the trigger sometimes. Downside to a shorter slide without an optics mount is you're going to have less sight radius as well, so that's going to be less accuracy. Now, the best thing about a shorter slide and longer grip is you get that same capacity, same overall grip, but if you're riding in a car a lot, particularly a patrol car, something like that, you don't have it pushing down and making it uncomfortable while you're in the holster, or if you're running appendix, you don't have it pushing on something else, making it really uncomfortable. It is quick though.
Okay.
All right, we're about 35 yards here. We'll just plink around a little bit. Everything's really easy to hit. Recoil impulse on this is super smooth. I expected that too. Internal slide rails and the overall good ergonomics of the CZ75 still exist in the Jericho, as you can see there. It's got a very similar grip to the CZ, similar trigger system to the CZ, really nice, really fast trigger, and that lightened internal slide railed slide there works really well. I like this gun. All right, so now we know we're shooting low, back out to 50. We'll kind of Kentucky windage it. What in the fuck? Oh boy. All right, so the gun's real fast, but one big goddamn problem, and that is at 50 yards, I'm literally, I'm aiming so high that I'm covering up the target. So try to bend our sights a little bit here. Yeah, we gotta shoot so high it's a nightmare. So that one thing for sure I definitely don't like about the gun. I like the recoil impulse a lot. Very, very shootable gun, but we are definitely going to be changing these sights for the full review. When you shoot this here in a second, we're going to have to move closer because the way I'm shooting, even at 40 yards, is I'm aiming right at the top of his head. And at 50 yards, I was aiming like a good bit above his head. Now, a lot of times you get that combat hold, you get that 6 o'clock or 12 o'clock hold, depending on what companies make what. SIG does that a lot. And a lot of times you have to zero the sight a little bit higher or lower than you actually think you do. But I literally went from being like buried to all the way up to where I was a whole front sight post above the sight before I was actually hitting the target. All right, go bananas. We're at about 10-yard line, so that sight issue shouldn't really be too much of an issue from here.
I just messed up my cadence.
Oh, trigger freeze. Well, I like the recoil impulse on that, but that looks like it's rocking around your hands quite a bit.
But it doesn't feel as bad as some of the big, long, like boat-like ones we've been shooting lately.
You mean like the SIG that we shot yesterday?
Yes. Also, I have a list because I have Invisalign, so don't mock me in the comments.
Weirdly turns me on though, that and that. All right, so we're gonna aim for that C-zone target down there. We're about 10 yards away, maybe 12 yards away. And she's gonna aim for the bolt on that. And we're gonna see if it's as low with her as it is me, or I'm just an asshole. There's a couple rounds on it already, but we'll be able to tell the difference. Wow.
Don't make me laugh. Ruin my concentration.
All right, pause it. All right, so let's go down and look, but I was watching those hit. So just don't point it at my ass.
I won't.
So you were hitting right there, that group, you were all low. And at about 12 yards, you were about 4 to 6 inches low. So that's quite a bit. All right, home defense drill. When I tell you, pop the gun up, put the whole mag into that dude right in front of you.
The one right in front of me?
Yep.
Okay.
1, 2, look out, go! Nice job. What'd you think?
As I was doing a whole lot of shots, the recoil felt worse. I don't hate it. I mean, I think we can fix the sights, right?
Yeah, we can fix the sights.
Definitely not the worst thing I've ever shot.
Yeah, well, sights are like a $60 fix. It's not the biggest deal, but it would be nice, IWI, if they weren't super low from the factory. All right, so we're gonna go over the first impressions of the Jericho Enhanced. We're gonna do it quick though, because my balls are freezing. It is cold out here. I'm shivering. It is a brisk 20-some degrees out here, and I'm not dressed for it, sadly. So with my complaints out of the way, I have mixed feelings about the Jericho. I'll be honest, I really liked it. I've been wanting to try one for a long time. I like the ergonomics of it. It was extremely reliable, which was really nice. We were shooting 147 grain Phoenix ammunition there, and no problems whatsoever. The manual safety felt great. The gun was very comfortable. The trigger was really nice. The trigger's real fast. I like that a lot. There's some things I really like about it, but there's one thing in particular that I didn't. And that was going to be the accuracy, and the accuracy was directly related to the sights. The groups that we were printing real small and real nice. They were just really, really low. And sometimes that has to do with combat hold, whether you're going to do different holds for different sight pictures, especially with combat-oriented guns like this one is, from companies like IWI. Sometimes you'll get an issue with sight picture, but this one was pretty extreme, to the point to where we were feet low at 80 yards, and we were feet low at 50 yards. And then when you were shooting on that IPSC target, I don't know if it'll reflect in the footage, I was kind of trying to show it, but you were printing a nice group like 6 inches below that bolt that you were aiming at, and that was only at 10-12 yards. So definitely low. Now you can fix that by buying aftermarket sights for sure. You could probably fix that by sending this back in IWI. From my experience, IWI has really good customer service, so they would probably fix it for you for free and pay for your shipping, I would have to assume, if you had this issue, or they'd tell you what the hell you were doing wrong. But me personally, I'm probably just gonna buy some new sights for this gun, or I'm gonna put a red dot on it. Gun with a short sight radius like this, I prefer a red dot anyway, because that eliminates that sight radius issue, and you can get the same accuracy out of that gun that you could a longer slide gun, and then you can get a quicker gun that's a little more comfortable to carry already, so you get kind of the best of everything. If you know a company that mills this, let me know in the comment section. I'd like to put an RMR or a Holliston on here for the full review, and just ignore those sights altogether. That being said, everything else in the gun's pretty fantastic, including the price. Assuming that all of these don't have sight related issues, because if they did, I think we'd hear about it. It seems like a pretty good to go gun that you may or may not have to change the sights on. We're going to do a full review on this gun, and I'll let you know what more I figure out in a couple of months when the 1,000 review comes out. But until then, please help out your local homeless shelters. Remember to recycle. I'll check you later.